Need more Call of Duty League? Sign up for the official CDL newsletter. Get updates, special offers, and premium content delivered directly to your inbox all season long. Scan the QR code to sign up now. You'll also be entered to win a pair of 4-day general admission passes to Major 2 in Boston.
All right, chat, it is time to get rowdy. Welcome back. This is our pre-game pre-show of what's about to happen for match number 2, day 3 of the online qualifiers leading up to our second major in Boston, which will be hosting our team that's featured in this matchup. Boston came out with a crushing 3-0 to kick off the week, but now they're facing off against a team that no one has seen in professional play because this Optic Texas lineup just made some serious moves between now and the major. So, Ant, let's break it down for anyone who missed our show on Friday. What went down, and what are we looking forward to today?
Yeah, so Optic, I mean, terrible performance at the first major. Didn't even crack into the top 8, something you don't expect from this team. And they break apart the long-time roster. They get rid of Dashy, and they bring in Hook over from LAG. Now,
Dashy was like number 2 in MVP vote last year, right?
Dashy was unbelievable. He was also their best player last year, and there was an argument that he was the best player in the world at a couple points in time throughout the season. So this is a big shakeup of this team because not only do you lose a superstar Slayer, you're changing the identity now of the squad because there's going to be some role switching that we're going to see throughout this game from Scump.
Now, people are saying Scump hasn't played the main AR since Black Ops 1. I don't know if that's true or not, chat. Let me know what the recent facts are. But we do know we expect a lot of fast-paced play from this trio. The Zeo trio won the World Championship under Coach Rambo Ray back in 2020. They went to 11 events. They won 4 championships with 6 finals appearances. This is a squad that's had a ton of success in the past, and they felt confident that Hook was the guy that could give them the juice they need to get over the hump, because they didn't even get out of groups last time.
And I think the biggest problem for me right now, though, is the fact that I don't know if this is what they were looking for as their problem solver in Roster Mania. We all heard the rumors, and you drop a player like Dashy and you pick up Hook, I feel like we're getting the same slaying, maybe in some different shoes. So I'm a little bit worried here about all the role switching, because now they've put that as added pressure, not only adding somebody new to the roster, but now having to change a couple people around. But we're going to see today.
We're going to get to our predictions here in just a minute. I just noticed we have over 4 million channel points on this matchup. Keep your predictions coming in. But we got to talk about the opponents here for Optic Texas today, because you got the Boston Breach with Awakening back. Yes, he was sick in Raleigh. He was not sick on Friday. He dropped the numbers once again. But give me the identity of this team right now, and we're looking at a Boston Breach squad that's coming in with the 9th seed overall out of our 12 teams.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Boston Breach team that now is like a respawn squad. Like, this team is so good. Since they've added Awakening, it has changed the dynamic of this team. And, you know, when it comes to Search and Destroy, I thought they would fare quite well throughout this game so far, though. They've only really won Fortress, and they won other map went across the other Search and Destroy maps. So definitely some room for improvement when it comes to Search and Destroy. But the identity of this squad, you asked, Puckett, it's the SMGs, the aggressive play out of Vivid and Nero. Those guys are going to be in your face. We saw them pick it up towards the latter half of last year, and now you throw Awakening in the mix. It's going to make them an extremely dangerous respawn squad.
What I love about this matchup, Ali, is we're going to see a showdown of the ARs, and this is a classic one. Players who have been around the league since, well, Zenny was 12. Let's take a look at the showdown here. Scump versus Methods is going to be happening throughout this series. How do you see things playing out?
Well, how I see things playing out now, I think it's, oh my gosh, that picture. Wow. I'm sorry. I feel like that was a flashbang.
They were
for
making
sure.
cash way back then, back when we were calling it competitive gaming.
That's a flashbang. I love
That's a flashbang for sure. But when it comes to these two, 2, the matchup, I believe, usually falls in Scum's favor. However, I think this time around, this might go a little bit different simply because we weren't able to get a look at the maps and modes. But player to watch for Boston Breach is actually going to be Methods when it comes to this series. Every single map so far, and especially the first 3, are in his favor. He's second right now in control with a 1.28, and they're heading into Hotel, which he has a 1.21. And then the very first map that they're loading into as well is going to be a Hotel that they're 3-0 on both sides of the squad. But 3 players of the Boston Breach have over a 1.2 KD.
Allie, I got to cut you off there because I'm told this game is ready. Before we go, I'm getting our predictions on the desk. Optic Texas, Hook, welcome back to the Empire, my friend. I'm calling the upset here statistically, 10-9.
I'm going with the stats. I'm going with Boston Breach.
She's going with numbers. Those are facts.
This is a new team for Optic, so there's really no stats that you can say about them. I think Optic Texas comes in and they take this series in a 3-1 fashion.
This one's going to Game 5, Round 11. Buckle in, get ready, because it's going to be a barn burner. Let's get it over to our casters and get this party started once again as we hand it back to the cop and his boss.
Wow, that makes me sheriff of this town, mate. That makes me sheriff. Handing you badge and gun, you never work in this town ever again, depending on the performance of this cast. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You've all been waiting for it. Reddit has been ablaze, and let me tell you, whatever happens at the end of this series, Reddit may fill its britches once again. Let's get into this one. Chance, the debut of Hook here on the Optic Texas roster, and for Boston, coming into this series in exceptional form, has to be said.
It's just, I don't know. The hot takes are going to be in exceptional form as well. The memes have been in exceptional form. If nothing else, Optic Texas have just provided endless amounts of entertainment over this sort of like roster mania period. But when we actually jump into things, it's going to be incredibly difficult to call for both of these teams. Optic, I mean, what? I think Illy's playing out of Canada. They only have a handful of days of practice with Hook actually on the roster. And then the idea of predicting Boston Breach just like scares me. So it's going to be a fun one to watch. But who the hell knows what's about to take place?
Let's find out, mate. This is going to be a big one. Trotsy has been a thorn in the side of many a team since he dived into the CDL, and no different here in this series so far. It's a sweet start from Optic Texas in the time department. They will be... Okay, there's your boy Illy playing all the way from Canada, finding himself a 3-0.
He'll take that 3-0 as well. Hook is just going to take all the hill time. He has just now gotten his first kill on board because he was just the super soaker. And, well, it looks like Boston able to break to get that time. But talk about that rotation. All 4 players now posted up, spawned up, ready to go on this new hill. Admittedly, though, Boston do have a little bit of time to try to break it down, but not a good start. Not for Boston at the very least. Cleaning house is Optic Texas. And it looks like Hook... maybe he's going to be the hill guy right back in his home.
Yeah, dude, I mean, anything's possible right now. As he's finding kills in hill, looking to push this lead a little bit further forward. Eyes on the kill feed. It's all Optic Texas for now. Illy got that lane covered. Does manage to potentially let a player through shots. He's just running around mid, causing problems for now. Boston Breach have been able to really get anything going. Here comes the slow approach. It's a 2 in the feed from Zinni. Now you got an opportunity to get yourself on that point.
Yeah, finally a little bit of life, but you see a couple players spawning up. Maybe a pinch from a couple different sides, but it looks like the TAC 56 is showing up
here
right
I am.
Boston Methods and Awakening cleaning house. And honestly, this isn't even scrap time. This is a good chunk of time for either team to get. Now, keep in mind, in terms of rotation, Scump has been sitting inside a kitchen for the past
where is this fucking screen?
And honestly, if Optic
There it is.
time as well, nice little moment in the game. And if Scump wins this gunfight against Nero, Optic might start to run away with this one.
That's it. All right, we may be running away here. Optic Texas, big work now. You've got to see the break from Boston Breach from the opposite side of the map. All the way across the hotel they'll have to run. Text has been sent. Yeah, we're in the kitchen. We'll be there in a minute. Yeah, more like 2 minutes. Here we go. Shotsy taken care of through mid. Big Wake's got an open field to work with. Okay, I don't know who died. We'll find out later. But for now, we're into the kitchen. Here comes the hit. Big win from Scott. Illy gets another one as well. Methods drops also, and that's massive work. Optic Texas hold on to the point.
No, I think what happened to Hook, if you stand up on the van and mantle it and hit your head on like the platform, it kills you. I know it makes absolutely no sense, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened to Hook. But they walk it off. They still clutch up around the hill. One more hit. It's actually a flank coming in through Vivid, and it's a perfect flank as well, but Nero able to get that final kill, if not for the trophy. So you have the Roofs killing Hook, you have trophies killing Nero.
Boys are cooking up right now.
Right now with about a 50-point lead.
That's good work. Holding that lead down. Illy over towards next. Wins the fight for the bar. Got himself equipped for every fight he can possibly ask for. 12 and 8 now for Shotsy. 11 and 3 for Illy. Good work out of the pair as they find those kills. Over the bar, though. Here we go. Boston Breach. They're lined up for the fight. They're keen for it. Shotzzy, though, somehow managing to get one out of it. Hard points up and about. Smooth attack now from Boston Breach as they hold on to the point. Couple of kills, and now the space is theirs.
Yeah, you gotta pump the brakes if you're Optic. Try to regroup, get all 4 players together. The nades and tax might be helpful, but if there's a trophy, it's gonna get shut down. They know that Vivid is here. They're taking their time. They're clearing everything out. And look at the nades and tax forcing players back now. You're patient on the play and you execute the game plan. Optic, nice break so far.
25 left in this point. The Vivid right back in there. All down to Shotzzy now. Can't get it done. Good work. Boston Breach. The hard point is theirs. Scum AR in hand. Little late to the party. No problem. He's going to come across Vivid. Clean him up as well. Optic Texas looking strong so far.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, and Scump getting the rotational kills as well. Patient on the brakes. Shotzzy and Hookah roaming the SMGs, spawning up, and Illy with fantastic timing. Awakening turns around at the worst possible second. And now this is the moment for Optic. I mean, potentially to straight up run away with this game. Already a 60-point lead. A good hold here, a couple extra kills, and they'll just be in too sweet of a spot.
Such a different pace already out of Optic Texas. Trades now going down. Hard point in the hands of Methods. Willie wins a big one. That's all Optic Texas now lining up for the hole. It's a 3 out of Illy. It's 16 and 5 overall.
Illy can't slay is what they said, and Illy just said, hey, it's 16 kills so far just on the first set of rotations. I mean, double kills and triple kills abound. Illy, I think maybe coming in with a little bit of vengeance, but it's also a flank coming through as well, so Boston's still trying to pinch this hill. Scump, though, reads it. Hook able to deliver with 2, so the new man on the roster, the man with the new gun in hand, everybody is fried.
Scump slithering. King Cobra right now finds himself a few more. 4 in the feed. 168 now. The lead, though, still in the hands of Optic Texas, but the hard point for a few seconds now in the hands of Boston. They get that last few ticks over by the restaurant and now try to get themselves over towards New. Illy's in position. Shotzzy's now making a bit of a run, but again, awareness not necessarily on point. The rest of Boston all through mid.
Scump is also just picking them apart along the way. It's all the pressure in kitchen, right? This is where teams like to try to make that initial break from, and eventually they take down Scump, but the new man on the roster is the next man in line, snaking his way to attempted victory. But finally with kitchen cleared out, it makes Illy's
Man, the boys are just fucking cooking them right now.
through the kitchen side of the map. Boston eventually.
Watch out, Hook. Oh!
Situation is utterly despicable and quite frankly horrible to watch, but there we go. 20 seconds remaining here on top of glass. We're going to see Boston Breach get that, net themselves over the 100-point mark. We're now with a firm lead, and the map's certainly in their hands so far. Let's go for a listen in with Optic Texas.
Backing up. He's on me on the pillar. Dead. I spawned beacon. There might be another. Yo, stun. What is that order now? Yo, he's in main. On main. What do main near. I think there's 2. I'm beacon. Yeah, you can be behind. Beacon dead. Yo, one guy's main on me as well. I can shot. Dead. I got 2. I can shot. One shot. Main on points. Main. I don't see the guys. Main. That's it, right? Shot on main. Somebody back in mid. They're gonna be behind you. They're spawning kids. Yeah, reflood this shit. Alright.
Oops.
One guy's gonna be here. I don't see him. Let's watch out deep left.
Oh man.
Double arches first guy. Make sure we're I'm backing up. Double arches first guy. I spawned. Main. In right corner. Left corner. Right side main. And I think he's left side. I don't see him main. Give him main. No, he's bad. He's left side. Hold that shit. Absolutely. All good. I'm main. One guy's can be small. One guy's main. Main, that's right side.
And we go. A little bit of back and forth on the point chance, but so far, fresh comms from Optic Texas. Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trading away a ton of P1 time, though, where the comms are, it's, maybe as clean as you want, you better make sure you get the time over towards P2, but Optic locking this one down. It was a perfect break initially, Awakening a last-ditch effort with this cruise missile, but all that he finds is a trophy. As Optic still the SMGs in the feed, and Illy right behind him, snaking and frying. Quite literally impossible to win some of these gunfights.
Yeah, literally impossible. Zin do we can. 25 now for the win, Optic Texas, and they're looking to get it done here on Hotel. Big wake, last man in. A little bit of time now. Get him off the point as best you can. Illy wins a big fight from the outside. It's a 2-piece from him. Method's back at it. Not able to let this time go away. Zin finds another couple of big uns. Another from Zinny. Wild stuff. 10 seconds going his way. Rotations down. Nero's got to win the big one against Hook. Can't get it done. His teammate behind him, though. Big wakes there. Kitchen, Boston.
Yeah, Optic again trying to just like play with that idea of having a single player rotate over towards Kitchen, but Boston much better. Johnny on the spot this time, and even Illy gets spotted by Meth. Illy though, just Spidey sense is tingling. Turns on him anyway, so it doesn't matter what you know. It only matters what kills you can get in Awakening by himself. Doing what he can to keep this one alive, but now you got to break through the Kitchen. This is not easy.
Not easy. Big wake though. On a 4. Looking to catch any more out of this. Maybe get himself another set.
I'm getting pissed.
What he can. The rest of the team are in. Scum wins the big fight. That has been back in hand. There's a shot to there. Now Zinzo, he can against Silly. Gets another one. 25 remaining on the point. And this is not over yet. Here comes a big one from Optic Texas. 2 men through the side door. Hook through the stocks, and he's going to get another one. Big work out of Optic Texas. The break's good.
Beautiful.
The brakes are on. And that could be the map.
Yeah, maybe not quite game. 2 players for Boston trying to square up and make it in towards New, but if you look at the rotation, it doesn't matter. Optic win it one way or another. They get it done on Kitchen. 250 to 180. Welcome the brand new Optic team.
Yeah, a great start. Clean gameplay there. I mean, we're talking about those rotations. Well, Scump was 15 seconds in advance. Little things like that make a big difference. The Boston Breach just could not get the afterburners going, man. I mean, this is a team coming into this series in exceptional form, looking very, very strong indeed. Certainly a tough look there for them. Boston Breach down. Optic Texas take the first.
I think what that like Zio trio was absolutely slaying out of their minds as well. I mean, I know Hook, he spent like the first 2 hills doing nothing but being the super soaker. He ends up finishing and tying Shotzi for the most. You had Illy, who was like 16 and 8 or like 16 and 5 even. I think it was even more extreme. And as good as he performed, 23 and 11 is ridiculous. Even Scump caught up to him. So that is 4 players across the board, all positive. Everybody spreading the love in hill time as well. As far as a hotel hardpoint goes, maybe not as perfect as it could possibly be, but incredibly efficient through and through. Funnily enough, that is Boston's first loss on that map.
We go 250 to 180. One I'm sure they'll remember. A little bit of love again for the statisticians out there. Thank you all for the work. At least lovely 3-piece there as you look across the highlights here of this opening hardpoint in the series, and bound to be a good series either way. New look for Optic Texas. Boston Breach looking to get back in a form for their upcoming major in just a few weeks.
I gotta say, looking even at the stat line for Illy, whether we're thinking about the major, thinking back to when they won a world champion as a trio, Illy's playing from his bedroom in Canada, I do believe, and that is a bedroom he won a ring out of, and that is a bedroom-like performance, I suppose, as well. So, I mean, electric stuff in the map 1. Again, you know, Optic doing the little things right, getting the rotations when they need. I think the P2s were executed incredibly well. I mean, if not just like a Methods 3-piece the second time around, they nearly would have just gotten, you know, completely stuffed out both times. So Boston certainly struggling to find those signs of life, and Optic again, full advantage for it. Their record also remains perfect on Hotel. Both teams were 3-0 on this map coming into it. So the roster change hasn't changed anything for Optic, at least not for map 1.
Oh yeah, Embassy Search and Destroy coming up now. Now again, I think for me, when I think of, you know, Hook as a player, especially alongside Illy and Shotzi, going all the way back to all the inception of the CDL, back to 2020, back to that Dallas Empire roster, may the rest in peace. Excited to see how this goes, man. Really excited. Search and Destroy, I've got high hopes. Again, like a 3-man team that is gross. Scum, obviously, a very, very, a very high floor, high ceiling kind of player. Excited to see how this team works out. Possibly the highest, indeed. Very excited to see how this one goes. Search is going to be a banger, no doubt about it.
You know, we were talking about Advanced Warfare a little bit earlier. That's when I like started my casting. If you would like, if we could time travel and go back to that game and just ever say the words Hook and Scump are on the same team, everyone's response to that's how it would have been like, that's GG. That should be illegal with like how extremely good that is. So I know Hook wasn't necessarily the first choice for the roster, but I assure you, when these are players that are at their best, they are quite literally the best in the world. So the potential for this Optic Texas squad is absolutely here. Obviously, map 1, they look great, and obviously, they're still going to have a long way to go because it's only been a handful of days of practice. Scump is going to be using an AR more potentially in this game than he has in, you know, the past 8 to 9 years combined. So they do have to adjust. There's going to be a lot to like be learned for this Optic squad, but they're quick learners as well. We go towards that embassy. If you want to sort of turn the tides and talk about Boston for just a little bit, their Search and Destroy is still a massive question mark. overall, their S&D game has not been particularly great outside of Al-Bagr Fortress, where I think they have a 4-1 record, but they've not really shown off a very deep map pool. In their series against Minnesota, they delivered and got a win on El Asilo. But Embassy is another one that we have barely seen Boston play an 0-1 record on the map. So we talk about a little bit of learn from the side of Optic Texas. The exact same thing could be said for Boston, especially as that map is loading up and there's only 3 players sitting down.
I presume that means it's all good. He's fine. His camera's frozen. It's all good.
Oh, there you
He's right. He's fine. Here we go, though. Embassy S&D, we're talking about 13 snipes, really. The man who we will be bringing up again, as I'm sure will be running big old bad boy boomstick up in this coming match. I would expect nothing less. Embassy, search and destroy now upon us. We'll see what happens here for Boston. Not the strongest move for them, not the strongest map. But a turnaround now for them would be great. Can they catch this brand new honeymoon period Optic Texas off guard?
The stat I was given for Illy snipes on this map, by the way, 23 rounds he is sniped in with 13 picks coming through. So slightly more than half the time he's finding the bloods, and if he's got a 1.44 KD, that means he also knows when to put it away. So first bloods get exchanged, though. Looks like Scump the next man to fall. It's Illy without the sniper in hand. Gonna be working with Shotzzy. See what they can do.
Good work out is in there to make his way forward under the suppressing fire of Illy to still catch that kill on the Scump. Gives his boys the man advantage. Nero dips into the boys' room, gets out with his life. Shotzzy tagged. The bomb plant now. Here comes the attack. Illy or Shotzzy. Somebody hit that concussion there, but you know there's players around this corner. Illy peeks it wide, gets eaten up. Bad timing. Oh, Shotzzy wins the fight. All now down to him in the 1v2.
Yeah, he's going to try to clutch this 1v3. Methods Nero stacked up together. That's one Vastnav, one TAC 56. You see the play? Had the SMG hop the bomb, had the AR look over him, and I think Shotzzy was waiting for the chow, and instead, just the quick, easy play made by Boston. They trusted Methods to get the kill. Doesn't even need to get it. Efficient round number 1. Boston get on board.
Teamwork made the dream work there, Breach. A good call. A wonderful call he made. A little bit of an insurance plan there as well. I mean, if Shotzzy were fast enough, could have maybe hit the wrap even then. Great work out of Boston. Breach. Optic now will be on defense coming up round 2.
Nero carrying the bomb as well. One of the variants from the Boston Breach team. Nice and aggressive into the window. No picks or first bloods coming through. Actually, Scump just gets completely caught towards the middle of the map. And in the meantime, Nero actually dropped the bomb down low. So it's a new feature that we haven't really touched on too much. And not that we need to, because I guess Nero just dropped it on accident. He goes back and picks it back up. But I think right now it's probably Hook, the man that might be forced to make the play in an aggressive position, as Boston will be taking things slow.
Real slow. Shotzi's watching the sort of palm tree line of sight right there, and Illy, oh, he's seen vivid now. The fight is on. Here we go. Enemy at the gates. Oh my good God! You heard that? Luke's there to finish him up though. Lovely teamwork out of Optic Texas.
Nice.
Man, tied up. Pushes forward.
No.
Unfortunately, the Dead Silence play amounts to nothing.
No.
Illy comes down as well. Nero tearing open.
And this is Dead Silence, not even pops. And Shotzi's going to be a little bit loud, but it's all about the timing. If he can get this man on bomb, there is a lot of potential to clutch the round, but a little bit too slow. If you can at least find the pick, you're going to be good to go, but I think Nero might have the intel. He's going to snake his way to a dub. This just got that much more difficult for Shotzi to win.
Oh, my nose hurts. Whoa.
It's not done yet. Shotzi's now in position. Can he take the fight against Nero?
Nero's a fucking pussy. Look at all that snaking.
The bullets are in. Nero looking for an angle. Oh my God. Slither me timbers. What a 1v1.
What a fucking snake.
Oh, one of the dumbest 1v1s we've ever seen. Just an absolute snake off in the middle of that. And the craziest thing is Shotzi legit makes the perfect play on the read of like, all right, Nero's just gonna snake. We're gonna isolate the other guy. He reads where Methods is gonna be. So that is like a perfect play call coming out. Even gets the early tags, but it's a snake off. So it's just luck in 50-50. You hate to see it. You really do.
We get the GA committee on the line, please. 5-0 for Nero, sorry.
Let's see what the chat has to say.
Right through mid. This could pay off.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Just holding hands, having a little kissy kiss on the tennis court under the, the golden hour, trying to get a selfie or something. Nearly gets the third. Nero. What a maniac.
And Illy, by the way, is keeping them in this because Stump's able to find the pick. But yeah, Illy with the snipe again was able to sort of like open the door to even the odds. So what was initially a perfect play out of Nero and
What's going on?
with the tax, all of a sudden it's a man advantage for Optic Texas. But Awakening always a menace. And right now Optic, these players very split. And with the Dead Silence play like this, I mean Awakening now in prime position in between these two. Be able to roam and try to deal with these bomb sites, but you got to be careful about making noise. Don't want to be too loud.
Shh, quiet. He's trying to clutch. 30 seconds. Creaks the door. Won't find anyone home in the top side of the MC now. He might be able to nab this bomb, but he's going to dive out into trouble. Optic have got the streets covered.
He's going to hear this, right? There's no shot. Both players actually do have Dead Silence pop, but if you don't hear it, you're going to see it. Light them up and take them down. Awakening drops 2 in instant. 1 versus 2 play call with a little bit of luck on his side. And a dagger in the round. As Boston now will be up 3-0.
Demon Joseph Awakening. What a great play. Patience. A virtue. Even with Dead Silence knowing full well that that bomb was down. Great work. Boston continuing to prove himself that, you know, you've got this team. It's a fresh team. Search and Destroy not as squeaky clean as it needs to be so far. 3-0.
Just crazy stuff too, because you got Nero 7-1, winning 1 versus 1 on the little snake off. You got 1 versus 2. So I mean, these are delicate rounds, and this one a little bit less so. A 2 versus 4 all of the sudden. An Alien Shotzi in such a predicament, especially when they have to play split to attempt to watch both these bomb sites. Illy, the production with the sniper is still there, but all of the picks have not resulted in a round win just yet. This will be attempt number 4. Yeah.
Damn, he's quick.
Oh, Illy gets another good one. It's 2 so far. With this wonderful SPX, he's getting the kills with it. Clock still ticking. Boston making a move.
And this should be a quick A plan as well with Dead Silence pop. You don't want to waste any time. Nero should get it down. Shotzi at the very least to be a little bit too late, and Shotzi wasn't working with Dead Silence either. Just ran out for Nero, so he's got to slow things down. And he heard Shotzi for sure.
Oh, yeah, here he goes. He might be able to catch Illy as well. Shotzi's made a drop. He hasn't seen him over the top. There's
Come on now.
Looking for the 9th. Nero versus Illy. Dead Silence is done. A lot of noise being made. Can't quite get it on the turn and burn. 1v1. Awakening's got himself Dead Silence now. Here we go. Wait a minute.
Oh, what?
No, Illy. This is a shot. Immediately back on. I love this play, but surely Awakening doesn't let this one happen. Surely not. Surely checks it.
Oh my goodness. So close.
The sheet remains clean for Boston Breach. There's a valiant effort there from Illy, but not quite enough.
I mean, no. This is a game where the scoreline doesn't reflect how these rounds have gone. I can't even remember round 1 anymore. I don't know what happened, but at least for the last 3, every time it comes down to 1v1, Illy putting on a showcase with the sniper to keep things close, but at least in that round misses the most important shot, and Awakening again is alive and there for the clutch. So nail-biter rounds, but a massive lead right now for Boston. 4-0 perfection.
Kudos to Illy for the attempt, but not quite enough. And again, it's such a close matchup, despite the 4-0. Vivid could truly feast here. There it is. First blood handedly taken care of. Optic Texas not opting to move too much here, but Illy going to come in, try to secure this power position, and he has not secured a thing. Absolutely eviscerated here. As Vivid has done so much damage. Nero now joining him in the feed. Shotzi, last man alive.
Yeah, and Optic at this point, I mean, they just have to be feeling utterly deflated with how these rounds have gone, because this one, much more hopeless than previous. I mean, Shotzi, I suppose, will give it the old college try. He's going to pop Dead Silence.
Wait a minute. Smoked him. 3 on the round for Vivid. That first blood was so important. Not a single arrow in position to take care of him. Their chance. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, again, just deflation. I have to imagine. I mean, tilt-worthy rounds, I think, for a few of them, and no more gas in the tank. At least not, it seems like, for this round. And Austin, I mean, hey, talk about a little bounce back that you're going to need after the tough hotel map 1. I don't know how many 6-0s we've had this year, but it hasn't been too many. Boston maybe looking to add 1 to the collection.
Here we go. 1 more round is all they need. been an absolute clinic here on Embassy. And the tremendous irony that, you know, Illy's having visa issues right now, and there we go. Not an issue though with the snipe.
Bomb down too.
No one quite from Boston making the move just yet. Illy's going to hold that one down. No idea that that is the bomb carrier. Nero, a bit of noise here from the men's bathroom. Actually, it might be an audience bathroom, I can't tell. It's the only one here on the map, so I would imagine it is. But there we go. Nero straight out of the toilet, into the feed, finding the couple there. Shots, he's going to get involved. That nade might help. Not quite, the kill's there. 2v3, Optic Texas, man advantage.
And you still have the issue of, you got to go collect the bomb. You still have the issue of Shotzi is going to go and hunt you down, so Awakening is still alive. He's clutched the 1v2. He clutched the 1v1 against Illy, so the round's certainly not over, but this is shaping up for an Optic Texas win, at least to get their first one on board.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Backtrack to go pick up that bomb. Hopeless.
Wait, that was from downtown stick. We need to see that kill cam. Can we see it? Ah, not too far. Right on his ass though, look at that, bang. You're on the board, Optic.
And again, I'd say, what? Okay, so the round one was when it was like a 1v3 for Shotzi. Nero just hopped the bomb and Methods looked over him. You had the round just before this for Boston where it was utterly dominant with Vivid going on the flank, but outside of those, every single round was a nail biter. This recent one, Optic Texas able to get the win, but still a 5-1 score line is just clinically absurd.
No one going to be here. They're flying out in the middle of the map. My God, look at this hit from Boston. No one from Optic's going to read this. Here comes the cruise. Inside of the map, not a safe place to be. You're about to run into the jaws of death. There's a trade. The bomb does go down. Back over to the cruise cam.
Nice.
It does a little bit of damage. And he gets a kill as well. So a fun play from Boston Breach hasn't quite been as productive as they were hoping.
I mean, especially just because Hook is able to at least get a kill before he goes down. And Illy, again, hyper-productive. You got Awakening, though. Dead Silence play. It's cost him before. Illy has to make the read, and Illy sees him. Takes off his shoulder and leaves Nero by himself.
Boston
Another 1 versus
is the
3.
team of neckbeards.
And a loud one at that. Nero forced to make too much noise, and yeah, with a
Like they're all overweight.
nowhere to go. Scump there for the
Gross
final kill,
beards.
and Optic still with a little bit of fight.
That's 2 rounds in a row.
Call them the Boston beards.
Still got a little bit of fight. They're still learning. They're improving. They're getting there. Illy, what a nice round he had between the first one and then the next one on Awakening. Ridiculous. Just sees a little bit of shoulder. Bang. Great work. Optic Texas get himself the second.
And Illy is definitely on one right now, but again, for Optic fighting a massive uphill battle. Still a long way to go. No reason to put the sniper. I mean, Illy has been just finding picks left, right, and center. Why would you stop him when he's got the hot hand? Will absolutely be keeping the SPX out. Bomb dropped again towards the middle of the map, so I think Nero's doing the exact same thing, but only just for a moment. So there's an idea there. I don't know what Boston are going for, but there's been some thought that's going into it. But in terms of map control, Optic right now, they've got everything. You get the crosses in the setup that you want.
Hello. Wow, baby.
Well,
What a
trades.
kill from Vivid. That dive, man. We've seen too many of those in this year.
I didn't even see where he came from.
3v3.
That is why you have the setup though, just to make sure you trade those out. Hook, the idea to potentially make a play. If he's popping Dead Silence, thoughts about moving. He's cut his way through the middle of the map and maybe just retaking the spot that Scump was in before. So the exact same setup, and Shotzi looking over as sniper shots ringing through the map.
Just about 30 seconds remaining. Awakening gets another. Hook and Illy, here we go. Blast from the past. Zinni snaps on him. Illy, here we go. They stay alive here in the map. It's got to be a 1v3. Snipes up. It's done. Boston Breach secure the map. They do not let any of the shenanigans get out of hand as Optic Texas. That hardpoint win was good enough. But now we find ourselves tied up 1-1.
Nice little bounce back, of course, but also a lot of nail biter of rounds. Again, that is a score line that does not tell the whole story, but so many of those little clutch moments, Boston Breach able to deliver, whether it's the timing going the way of Big Wake or the snake off that Nero is able to dance his way to a victory early on as well. Boston contained the sniper, and by contained it, I mean they got obliterated by the sniper, but were winning the gunfights everywhere else on the map. I mean, Illy putting on a fine performance, but not good enough for the victory. 6-2 win for Boston, and hey, to control we go.
It was a really close search and destroy either way, though. I mean, it took a long time to get there. Those rounds were nail-biters indeed. Though tied up 1-1, hotel control is up now. We roll back over towards Amsterdam, see how we go there, and then it's all the way back over now to Embassy Hardpoint. Last map in the series, Mercado. Search and destroy if we do have to go to the Game 5. And tell you what, I know there's a lot of fans in the chat that don't necessarily want that, but for the sort of more sadistic Call of Duty fans like myself, give it to me, please. Chance, it's time to go for a quick commercial break, my brother. When we come back, it's time to get control underway. Don't go too far, ladies and gents. We'll be right back.
Man, I'm tired.
Upgrade your game with the SCUF, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're here now live from Columbus. Well, Chance and I personally, but the whole crew here putting on a wonderful show for you at home. We're going to find out who wins this upcoming Control here on Hotel in just a few moments. Looking at eyes on Hook though, mate. New kid on the block here for Optic Texas, replacing Dashi, causing quite the change of roles, the change of pace. It's been a major shake-up, Chance.
Major shakeup indeed, but obviously it's going to be a long time before we know how it properly pans out for these teams because, you know, it's a brand new team, brand new luck. Scump's like switching over towards an AR, but we saw map 1 only running an AR about half the time. So it's going to be a blend, still plenty to learn, but even records right here on Hotel Control. Optic a little bit better on defense, Boston a little bit better on the attack. So, I mean, that right there is going to be the square up that you're going to see. Obviously, of course, how much the stats matter for Optic with a brand new player on the team.
I'm in. Take me will from that one, guys. Here we go, though. Boston Breach will be on offense first. The three-man hit through mid, trying to find what they can as they now circulate their way over towards the B zone. Here comes the hit. Hook's never going to see that guy. Oh, he sees the guy from behind. What in the name of all things sacred? This is...
Whoa! Whoa!
Cannot be destroyed. He wipes them all out. It's 3 for the man on the screen.
Yeah, Snakes evolved 128 million years ago, but Hook evolved in the past week, ready to go in that moment. Incredibly slippery, and now for Shotzi, maybe his turn to do a little bit of dance. You're moving over towards Restaurant. You already know it's going to be smooth moves on these desks. You go for the chow and can't quite take the second one down. Boston is stabilized. The slow A-zone capture commences.
I'd love to see the fast play out of Optic Texas there, but not quite enough to get anything done here. First segment's on its way out. Here comes the counter-attack now from Optic. Going to be a three-man hit over towards this side of the map. Billy's going to find at least one, and that's good stuff. Nero, you're up next. Take care of his first. Ooh, nearly a second. A lot of damage dealt, though. Clean house. No problem. Boston Breach.
And they've also even up the odds in terms of the life count as well. So obviously with a Hook play like that towards the start, there was a slight deficit they were going to be working from, but all's quiet now across the top side of the map as we are roaming towards that B zone. 2-2 split for Optic on defense. Ready for the pressure on both sides.
Here we go. Vivid. Do what you can and just clear up these areas. Make sure there's nobody home. Give the boys the all clear. Awkward timing. Like, unbearably awkward timing. Nero there to pick up the trade. Good stuff now. Boston Breach are in. Illy now and Scum off spawn, flying into the action. Nate's there to help out. Nero under the cover of some teammate fire from Awakening. Not able to get on the point. But for now, you lick your wounds. Take those losses while you can. Back on up and wait for the rest of the squad. Good work, Boston.
Yeah, that's just awkward timing the whole way around, I'd say. I think Methods was expecting a deeper spawn to come through, so the pressure on him quicker than he was ready for, and got to gear up and go once again. Vivid, the most aggressive player on the map. He's got Methods to work with. And it's going to be Illy in the back. And honestly, if it's Illy in the back, that's going to be a problem. But you should be able to get the trades, or maybe Vivid could just do it with himself. You clear out the 2 players off spawn, but it's still the ever-present problem. If you don't clear out bedroom, you're not going to have a good time. And Nero trying to hunt, but some of those Optic players too fast.
They're so fast, so sneaky. 50 seconds remaining here in the round. Looking to take care of this side of the map. If Nero can get the job done, his boys can certainly get on the point. Get things going. Massive win from Scum. That's huge. That's going to change the face of this attack.
Look at this guy down here. What is he looking at? His monitor and his lap?
Who's got to have him contained, right? He's going to live in this spot, just trying to buy so much time, or maybe nade himself and let that be the result of your death. But he's at least able to call it to his teammates and say, hey, they're all flooding through the restaurant. That was there. Boston in a 5 now versus 12. You get 1 attempt at making this break happen, but if you didn't clear out your bedroom, there's going to be no hope.
No. Oh, there is no hope. It is gone. What a round. Good stuff. Optic Texas. A decent bit of work over towards the A side of the map. B, awkward timing from Boston. Not quite able to get it done. But Optic, give it all together. No funny business there on Hotel in the first round.
Just the stable. You get that bedroom control on defense. As long as those players stay alive and never let it slip, you'll be good to go. And I think we saw, Scump and Shotzi occasionally playing a little bit separate, finding the kills, repositioning. But as soon as they need to get back together, the double chow's coming through. And I'd say for Shotzi and Scump, just another day in the office. They made it look very simple in that first round.
That's the beauty of professional Call of Duty. It looks so easy, but I can tell you, it is nearly impossible to try to recreate this quickly. Here we go then to another round. Boston Breach now on defense. Illy from the top bedroom. Sweet nade there from Zinni. Whether that was going to get the job done or his bullets did indeed.
2, and Nero for the next one, but it's just trades toward the middle of the map. I think Optic might just, one, try to stabilize on the B side. Illy doesn't want any funny business, wants to keep these players away from bedroom, but the actual objective play is going to be happening over towards this A zone. I think Awakening knows that a little bit too much pressure. Optic have all of their angles covered. Looks like A going to be nice and stable as Optic Texas maybe trying to get a little bit mixy. Send an extra player in like Hook to try to cause a little bit of chaos as Vivid's doing the same thing on the flip side.
He's having a good time on this side of the map. Shots
dead.
deals with it. That should be A taken care of, surely. Now the battle for position across the map will take place against Bedroom. This is where Big Wake is just underneath. That's where you really want to get your eyes on. Methods on the outside, keeping those members of Optic spawning as far away from the B side of the map as possible, though. Hook the nuke, though, he's in from behind, and he has been disarmed by Vivid.
Still, though, Awakening might be the key man, or actually Vivid is able to get across. Well, now you have 2 key men that Optic are going to have to clear out of their own base, and you had Illy working on a flank. Optic constantly trying to apply that pressure, but the pressure is on them. Last man standing right now, Scump. Basically trapped in between quite a few different players. I mean, just all those green arrows on the minimap. Yeah, so many corners that you have to check, and not easy gunfights to win. Vivid ripping off ahead. As right now, Optic, time is slowly ticking. And Vivid thinking about that cruise. One more kill, and it's an actual tool in the tool belt for Boston to play with.
That's a 5 spree for Vivid. Awakening looking to get just a bit of map presence now. You're Boston, you want to keep him out of this side. You've got him in the right spot right now. Vivid has been taken care of. No cruise for him. That's an open side of the map to play with now.
Nice.
We've got a minute, 13 lives to get on the B.
And you got to go fast as well because Vivid's coming off spawn, so it's a foot race, and you don't want Vivid to be the reinforcements to come through, but you're not able to get the next set of gunfights anyway, so Vivid, they're in time with plenty of it on the clock to make sure you clear off the zone. Hook is behind enemy lines again.
B seems like really hard on the cap.
And again, bedroom control, that's the name of the game. Hook can only stay alive for so long, and they're on the 4 spree there to take him down.
He's cooking from bedroom.
So there's just so many ways to cover.
These players back, 30 seconds remaining. Life count may not come into effect. Here we go, though. Shotzi trying to clear it out. Nades are there. Good peek now from Nero. In and out he goes. No more to be had. 2 players got him. Optic in. They've got it in control. 20 seconds. Can you get that last player on there? It's Hook. He flies forward. Gets absolutely gunned. Vivid. What a round from him. Lordy. That is it. We are tied up. 1, 2, 1.
Yeah. Boston had to work so much harder on defense compared to Optic Texas. It was a much more nail biter of a round, but all things considered, tied up on ticks, tied up on rounds, all is exactly the same. And I mean, Optic eventually did get the bedroom clearance right in the final moments. They were just running out of time and not able to really wait for their teammates to set up any team pushes. So just efficient work by both teams so far on these defensive rounds. Now it'll be Boston's turn once again to try their hand in the attack.
Whew. It is a tough one. Guaranteed yourselves a good series ahead of us, pals. This is it, 1-1 here on Hotel. Different looks this time round from Boston on offense. You're still leaning towards that B zone, but no one's quite going for it. Good aggression now out of Optic on the defense. Forward they go. Last man up, 1v1. Awakening wins it. It's a 3 spree from him, getting out the negative now, trying to hold this spot down, wait for the boys to show up, and you get on that point.
This is such a strange looking like mini-map though. Kashati is behind enemy lines, and the B zone has been left open. And through the middle of the map, Awakening is there to shred. And you even have Shotzi to get shut down, so all the flanks you have potentially to come through. This is a massive problem now. Boston, the triple stack is in. This could be the B zone gone.
Here we go, 3-man's in there, this should be it. Illy's going to come on through, trying to find at least 1 player on the outside. That's going to let these guys get in closer. Illy keeps finding the kills. Hooks get the one as well. Last man up. Methods gone.
Nice.
It's so far. 2 segments done. They're on B.
Yeah, just a good swarm there by Optic, because that was a nail biter. Boston put themselves in an incredible spot, but a lot of the gunfights just did not go their way. And
nice, Scumpy.
Back towards the restaurant, didn't even have to work too hard for it. And wait a minute.
Nice.
B-zone. Talk about a big one-on-one gunfight. Is Optic
Oh my goodness, that kill feed.
all over the map. You still need to keep this bedroom control, but Scump is trying to lock things down as Boston now are going to be swarming this A zone.
It's savagery. Optic Texas, oh, they're finally being brought to their knees. Taken care of here. On towards A you go for a Mo. You've got plenty of space to work with now. It looks like they're going to hyper-aggressive hit towards B. Have they made the read? They have. Optic are backing on up. Boston trying something crazy here. It's getting a little dicey. Awakening with the trades. Last man left alive methods. And this has been a costly play. You've given up all that A zone. Back over to it you go. Optic Texas perfect read again.
I mean, here. This is delicate, man. You can't afford to drop the ball because there's only 15 seconds left on the clock, and you're down.
Scumpy, oh my goodness.
Gone by Scump. 8 seconds to go. You got to flood over towards 8. You still haven't killed the king. He's going to be here for the flank. 3 seconds, and that's going to be it.
One more kill. Take care of him.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Woo! That was a nice one.
The comms right there from Optic Texas. Scump gotta let him know.
Oh man,
everything literally falling into his lap. Nice little 180 world star. They line up for him, and gee whiz, Batman, what a play.
gee whiz.
Scump absolutely delivers. I mean, hey, 2-1 lead. And think about the play call for Boston. You had the opportunity. You had the clearance on the A zone, and you already had 2 ticks of
Scumpy
progress
fucking
over
popped
towards
off
B.
there.
They try to make a hero play maybe a little bit too soon, and they get punished for it. And now they got to deal with Scump. 25 kills to his name on a 7 spree. Has the cruise. Trying to go quickly through the middle of the map. Boston, though, good read off the opening break, so it'll make sure nothing crazy happens towards this B zone, but that's just the opening break. We got a long way to go in this round.
Crazy round. Here we go. We're all composed. Hook's got himself 2. We're on to the B zone now. Here comes the stack. Shots are dead to back
Let's
him
go.
up. Progress now towards B.
Nice, I got one.
See you later. Second one, working on it. Illy's coming through to help out now, but as are the Boston Breach members, damn son, they have wiped Optic off the face of the point. Last man alive, Illy. He's going to back on up a minute to go.
Yeah, just playing for kills on this side. His teammates are going to be making the play towards the A zone, but you still have Vivid behind enemy lines. Scump deals with him. So Scump, by the way, over towards Restaurant has been a god amongst men. And because Illy has stayed alive, you at least are attempting to keep this bedroom control. You still have methods behind enemy lines, but Illy heads up play, so it is action all over the place. The slow capture towards A, but if there's a moment where Boston dropped the ball and Illy finds these kills in the B zone.
Oh, what?
It could have been it. It could have been it. But Methods is clutch.
That's gross, man. That's classic.
Oh, also, it's a 3v4. How long has it been a 3v4?
Wait, and we lost Big Wake.
When did
Big
that
Wake, come
happen?
back. We lost him. Referee.
When did he fucking get kicked out?
We are missing a Demon Joe. I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's currently 2-1 Optic Texas. This round wasn't too far in. Yeah, we're going to win that game. There we go.
What the hell? I didn't even know.
When the non-disco. Well, something happened. I mean, this has been a day of pure excitement. Had to get a little bit more drama in it, didn't we? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Awakening with lag out of that game. Sadly, a PC issue. Yeah, he's been gone for quite a while there. We'll see what happens there, and obviously we'll get this one back up and going ASAP. Round-based game, friends, so we come back to this one 2-1 Optic Texas. They do have a lead there. And vibes have got to be an all-time high in that camp right now. Good stuff out of them. A perfect bounce back, and a spicy one at that after the 6-1 Search and Destroy.
And possibly an extra opportunity to look at the Scump play again, because I know there's a moment where it seemed like he had a bunch of players lined up for him, and I thought he was going to get the 4-man feed, but didn't quite get it. And I also don't know when Awakening dropped out. So a lot of confusing things are happening. But sure, Optic up 2-1, as far as I know.
2-1 in the hotel control. That's exactly what's happening right now, and we've got ourselves a bit of a Scump play, boys and girls. So everybody get them candles ready. I know some of you big fans out there, super fans. Here we go. Let's have a quick look at this one. It was an 8 spree, I think, before he went down there. We're not calling the king for nothing. It all started with this disgusting turn-ons in.
Yeah, and also very well experienced with both of these weapons. Unfortunately for Methods, hand to the king. Hands him a freebie there, and all these players lined up.
Jesus.
Everybody just gets dropped at the exact same time. Okay, but Awakening was there and did get his head taken off, so I'm just trying to make sure I got the timing of it well, but add one to the highlight reel for Scump, who, I don't know, he'll pick up a dozen highlights every single year. The montage he can have just for his competitive career alone is going to be the longest among any player.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Yeah, no, we do call him the king for a reason. Been around a long time. Definitely a degree of frustration there as we're seeing, of course, I presume Awakening, got to reset everything, got to get everything going as we're going to try to get this game ASAP. It is going to be 2-1 Optic off the reset. We'll see exactly when that can happen. Again, Demon Joe, we do lose him out of the lobby, so Awakening, once he gets back in, PC back up and running. This does give all the players a chance to run to the restroom. And again, mad love to all you fans sticking this one out. It's been a fun day of getting through technical issues. Happens. Every now and then we get sort of hit by a day like this, you know what I mean? Just happens. But crazy stuff. Charles, let's go high level. Let's get on Reddit with some hot takes. How are we feeling about the new Optic so far?
God, you set me up for high level, and I just got so confused. I mean, clearly after map 1, best team in the game. Then you see their S&D, and obviously it's hopeless in that game mode. So they got no hot takes. We haven't seen anything. I'd say probably the most impressive thing from Optic so far, it might just be the reads they're having in control, because I think, you know, it's bad in hindsight, the play call that Boston make when they already have 2 ticks on the B zone to try to dash across the middle of the map and get that final cap like secured. But Optic just making the perfect reads the entire time. The pressure on defense when they had to have Hook making those like game-saving plays on the B zone, or when they're rotating fast back over towards the restaurant. I just think Optic were handling the pressure incredibly well. I think that's the type of play call that Boston makes that you probably win that 8 times out of 10, but Optic dealt with it well. That means the communication's on point. That means they're flowing as well and speedy in their decision making. So I'd say overall fairly positive for the squad.
Nice, man. Fairly positive is what you're looking for in a sea of negativity around what a spicy team change we've had. I'm going to go a little rogue here. Production, can I have the Boston Breach cams for a sec? Can I have all 4 of the cams? I've just received one of the funniest text messages I've ever received from a coworker. Can I get the Boston Breach cams? Okay, cool. I know that all the cameras are in position now, and we've gone through this a few times with the Boston team, that they look like variants of one another. You know, they're all sort of fairly similar with a beard, and you know, if they wear glasses, it'd be out of control. My friend has sent me a text message saying, "Why does the Boston Breach look like a Pokemon evolution chart?" That takes it for me. I think that is absolutely hysterical, man. Just the order in which you put them in is the state of evolution. Presumably Nero is like the base Pokemon, right?
Yeah, because he's shit.
Like level up to Vivid, then we go to methods. And it's funny because historically in Pokemon, there's only like 2 evolution possibilities. You only get like 3 total of the same chart. But in like Pokemon X and Y, I think it was, they added Mega Evolutions. So that means it's Mega Wake now instead of Big or Giga Wake. It is Mega Wake for the Pokemon tie-in.
That is incredible. Well, again, I just thought we'd call that one out, and loved you, Pete. Hope you're doing well, mate. What a fantastic observation we have during this little bit of downtime. We're almost ready to get back into this one. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Everyone in the chat, and appreciate you all for hanging out, guys. But yeah, chance high-level stuff, good. You know, can't complain massively about the way up to look so far. Of course, Search and Destroy was going to be a tough one. Of course, it was going to be difficult. But hey, 6-1, nothing to sneeze at. Boston, good rep for them.
And I would say for Boston as well, obviously, if you're, tied up in the series, but
I'm just
down
gonna go smoke, I guess.
You're gonna sweat a little bit, and if you're gonna sweat, you might shine. And if you're a shiny Pokemon, you're a rarity. And how rare these players are, and how beautiful they're going to be. That's as far as I could take this one, but I will say it's been a battle between these 2 teams. I mean, the fact that Boston quite literally started their year off of like taking down Atlanta FaZe, and we were instantly like, oh my god, this team is different. They're going to be top 4. They're going to be a contender. And then they go into the major and are losing, you know, matches to AM teams. So Boston, again, impossible to predict overall, let alone in this series, let alone after the reset. So they're just a team you have to watch.
Unbelievable. Well, we have some stats now from Optic again, and you have to take all this with a pinch of salt. Some of that salt a little old, some of that salt brand new, baby. Here we go, though. Scum, stats through the first 3 Control rounds versus Breach. This is how things were going before we did have to sort of hit the reset. But so far, Chance, man, he is absolutely frying. Big damage, great looking KD, and the stash is as strong as ever.
I mean, and in a sense, Scum might quite literally be like the perfect flex player for a game like this, because it's L trigger heavy. Scum's always going to be good to go, and if there are players that like can outpace him with an SMG, the pace for the TAC 56 is going to be perfect. And then when he needs to pick up or switch to a Vaznev, he's the best SMG of all time. So I think Scum might find himself in a very comfortable spot with his squad, and especially when he has 25 kills and is frying like he is. I know his teammates were literally right behind him too, like keeping up with the pace. So right now, as far as like pacing goes, Optic do look good.
Yeah, good stuff. Again, with plenty more stats to look at while we wait for this match to get back up. And again, we are coming back into this one 2-1. Optic in the lead here on Control. This is Illy. Stats so far versus Breach in the series so far. 8 snipes we saw there on that 6-1 loss they had on Embassy. But Chance, so far, a wonderful bit of, you know, kills production from Illy there, coming from Canada.
And I would say for the side of Illy too, like a 2.09 KD is utterly ridiculous. But he started off that map like 16-5 and then finished like 23-11. So technically he slowed down, but when he slowed down, he was getting normal production and his teammates all started to fry. And I think that's sort of what we're seeing in the control, where it's not like Illy has been popping off on this map. He's just been doing his job and doing it well and allowing his teammates to pop off and fry. So again, a new dynamic towards the team, a lot to look out for. And obviously when you have 8 snipes on a map like Embassy, Illy is always going to be a lethal threat.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a dangerous snipe player, I think, as long as we've seen him, you know, playing in the pro side of things, especially back at Cold War. And even, sorry, not Cold War, MW19. Brilliant on that map. The amount of times we saw him on those Petrograd break-offs, smoke or no smoke, your fella was hitting them. Good work out of Illy. We'll see that production continue all year long, hopefully for Optic Texas fans. For now, though, again, it's a few more moments to get words across. It's a single round win Optic Texas need here on Control to take the lead in the series. For Boston Breach, 2 rounds, and they'll take the lead as well. So we'll see what happens coming up next. Again, Hotel Control, an exciting game mode chance. When it comes to, you know, the team on defense, you'll make a single mistake, somewhat similar to the way Fortress plays. A single mistake can absolutely cost you the round.
And I mean, you see like the quote single mistake maybe that Optic made on the defense that they had to utterly clutch up is, you know, Boston's been very consistent on the opening breaks, attacking that B zone first. And if it doesn't work out, well, when you spawn on back kitchen, you just go straight towards the A zone. But once that sort of dam breaks, you're able to make that push through the defensive setup from Optic and actually get that pressure on the point. They nearly got that third tick through a few different times. And I think if Boston 2 for 2 on their offensive rounds that they've had of at least attempting to go towards that B zone off the rip, I think that'll be sort of the thing to look out first. But obviously this is all after the reset taking place.
Here we go. Reset. Optic 2 to 1. One more and we're done. To the Boston Breach. Let's see what happens next, ladies and gents. Right back in it we go. An exciting series on our hands. So many questions. And you're probably not going to get many answers after this one, to be frank. But here we go. Technically, what, round 4? Here we go.
At round 4, and again, more or less a B hit. Scump's going to be trying to lock down the middle of the map because that is where all the pressure came through on Boston prior to the reset. So you have adjustments being made by both teams. Optic's entire setup right there is to play off how Boston played it the round before, but Boston, no stranger to switching things up either. So same sort of thing. When the B zone hit doesn't work out, you spawn up close, you stabilize, you go right back towards A, and Scump starting things off right. 2 kills to his name, trying to keep control of these little middle lanes.
Absolutely running the show, man. 3 to 0. Segment on A, cleaned up. They're backed on up, trying to see where Boston are coming from now. You see that mini-map here? Those arrows fly forward. And so far, Optic holding the line, keeping it all together here on Restaurant.
And it is interesting as well, watching Scump run the trophy. I know there's been a lot of absolutely useless discussion on trophy players versus dead silence for SMGs and ARs, but you have teams that are just going to be mixing up map-specific, hill-specific, moment-specific as well. And you expect these guys to be on top of things, and Optic right now completely on top of this A zone. It should be secured, and maybe good news for the moment. You don't really have to clear out bedroom too much. It's only methods behind enemy lines, so an interesting moment for Shotzi. If you can find some of these kills, and on the feed, Shotzi at least able to find the first, and maybe Nero that next in line.
One more zone's all that remains. Optic Texas, you take the map. Here we go. Oh, damn. That's 3 dead. Here we go. Absolute go button has just been smashed to oblivion. In they fly to the point. Zinni trying to find one more out of it. Can't get it done. Hook ripped from the heady. Vivid still alive. Over now to the check-in desk. And Illy cha-ching gets them both. Oh my god. Getting on to the point. This is a massive moment for Optic.
Yeah, this is the moment to stack. If you got the players nearby, it's 2 men on it for the moment. The third has now joined the team. Every lane covered, and maybe the middle map flank is going to be possible. But if you stay on the point, it should be quick. But Skunk looking for the kills, but that's because he's going to get them. B zone secured. Optic Texas have done it. Hotel done. GG. To map 4 we go.
Absolute smacking in that round. Momentum not lost whatsoever. It's all smiles across Optic Texas. They take the lead here in the series.
Unironically, by the way, I think I might enjoy watching Shotzi's POV. I like watching Shotzi play more from the enemy's POV where I'm watching Nero down low in the corner, like he's got that kill for sure, and then Sachi just out of nowhere bunny hops and fries him. I mean, just an absolute nuisance. Little moments like that, Shotzi always incredibly difficult to kill and to keep track of, and I mean, a high-value MVP caliber player for a reason. That's obviously just on the bottom left on your screen, the number of MVPs in this lobby alone. Well, there's 3 of them. 4? Maybe we can go 4.
Yeah, you got a couple in it. Good stuff, though. Optic Texas, don't let anything get away from there in the control. Beautiful stuff. Highlights now, ladies and gents, from across the control. There, map number 3 is in the books. Crazy 3 priests to start things up from Hook there. No idea how that one went down. Just a little too much noise in the comms, potentially. And then great map control out of Boston a few of these rounds. Just not able to close it out. Optic Texas, though, on offense again. Strong as hail.
Yeah, maybe too much noise in the comms or too few red dots on the mini-map. So a player in a spot like that, even when they're out in the open, not always easy to completely lock down. So the chaos of the moment can cause problems, and the chaos in that moment was absolutely Scump, who again, doesn't matter what gun he has in his hands, he's gonna bring the fire. He's gonna be there to gun you down, and I have to imagine Scump probably ended up as the kill lobby leader towards the end, because he was putting in some serious work even post reset. But 2 for 2 on the respawns is Optic, and will stay in the respawn game mode, going to Embassy Hardpoint for the map 4.
And that is a wonderful thing to see if you're an Optic fan. Again, the respawns have been very strong against Boston thus far. 6-2, though, in that search. Nothing to be sneezed at. Definite work needed. Embassy, though, a different beast, mate. If we have to go to Game 5, Mercado search and destroy. Not what you want. The Optic fans, again, a team that has had very, very little actual practice time. Maybe a week at best, given the recent change to the roster. We'll see what happens there. I mean, let's face it, anything can happen here in the Call of Duty League. But for now, we'll see how the first hard point here on Embassy goes. Chance, any sort of high-level calls for this one, mate? Which way are you dressing?
Well, not calls in terms of predictions, but I think this will probably be the most telling map we have for Optic Texas to see how like the roster change actually impacts them. They're 0-2 on Embassy, so it's not like we have a massive amount of data to know exactly how they play, but they're 12th overall in rotations. If you're switching Hook to an SMG, Hook compared to Scump, Hook plays faster, and then Dashy compared to Scump, honestly, Scump plays a little bit quicker. I think Dashy was the 2nd slowest AR we had in the league, just above accuracy in terms of speed. Embassy is a very tight-knit map. If you're 12th on rotations, that's what I'm going to be paying attention to for Optic, is just how they handle the rotos on the map. And again, admittedly, I say learn a lot. They've only played it twice before, so it's not a ton of statistical significance, but it is something to identify and look out for.
Keep an eye on it, for sure, mate. We'll keep an eye on it as we now get in towards Embassy and almost ready to party here, pals. And I cannot wait to see what happens here, because, again, a victory over Boston Breach here would be a shock, I think, for many, many Call of Duty League fans. For the Optic fans, it just makes Reddit that bit more insane. But for now, mate, I'm very, very keen to see how this team, how quickly they can gel, how quickly this pace can be set, and let's just get some results under the belt, because I think the organization needs it right now. I mean, it was a tough run at Major 1, didn't quite go to plan. We'll see, because Boston, it's coming up on us real fast. We're already in the final day of the first week of the online qualifiers. From here, it's only going to get harder and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder until we get to that goddamn Major. Chance, though, a tough road to the Major as well for the Optic boys. While we just keep banging on about this point, I mean, the Boston Breach are the first of, what, 3 very, very tough teams they're going to be playing on the road.
It feels like almost everybody has a difficult, you know, roster ahead, or like lineup of teams that they have to play, but no exception for Optic. So they have their work cut out for them. I mean, this is the first look we get to see for the squad, so you definitely want to start off on a positive note and maybe sort of, you know, get the monkey off your back just a little bit, answer some of the questions and kill some of those hot takes in a sense. And I will say on the flip side for Boston, just to sort of stay on theme a little bit, in my mind, S&D is sort of the biggest question mark, because we talk about their map pool, but there is a lot of good news in that regard. Playing against Minnesota, they got a win on El Silo. They had I mean, at least by the round count, a dominant win on Embassy. And even for the map 5, if Boston can force it there, we're going to a Mercado that they haven't played before, but if they've expanded their map pool, which it looks like Boston have put in some work, there's a lot of potential for this squad, but we already talked about it just a little bit. 0-2 on this map for Optic, because they get out-rotated like crazy, and that is something Boston are certainly stronger on comparatively, and strong on overall, being 4th in the league. So Boston with a bit more experience on Embassy, but again, that brand new team, yet to know how Optic truly are going to play.
Lobby reset, ladies and gents.
Yay!
You know the vibes. Here we go. Be interesting to see again. There's going to be so much. Oh, so and so's better than so and so after this one. But either way, the team is certainly clicking in a slightly different manner. It does look like a very, very new squad. That speed, something we've come up a few times. One of the big talking points for many of the pundits across the Call of Duty world was how faster the team may look. Speed's a dangerous thing, though. Speed kills. If they can put that speed to good use, though, Optic Texas is certainly a force to be reckoned with. Boston Breach feeling the heat right now. And if they can keep this one rolling, if they can get back into this, they've set themselves up for a great Game 5 on Mercado, but they've got to get through Embassy first. And as you said, Chance, rotations. That's the key right now. We saw a nice touch of that in the first hard point. Scump, 15 seconds on out. The whole team playing this one very well. Very even hill time across the whole squad as well. So statistically, we are looking like quite favorably at Optic Texas right now.
Well, possibly, but it's going to be very difficult to call. And even thinking about the players we have in this lobby on a map like Embassy, I mean, Nero and Vivid are like two of the fastest players in the league. Hook and Shanti, obviously, also speed demons. So, like, trying to keep track of just the SMGs that are in this lobby alone is going to be a task and a half for both of these teams. So, I think there's going to be a lot of chaos involved. It's going to be all about the communication and how, like, effective you're going to be with the trades, because so many of these hills, it's just going to be players cornered up in different spots, and it's all reaction-based, and, I mean, you got to be cracked, and I mean, maybe in a sense for Optic, that could pan out. Because, again, if your third SMG is the best SMG of all time, not a shabby player to have in the back pocket on a map as small as this.
Oh, no. We'll see how it goes. As it is, it's very, very close indeed. Everyone's trying to stay warm, trying to stay composed, trying to stay focused. It's a difficult thing to do, man. You make a team change, and we've seen this a couple of times with other teams in the league. When you make a change, the first series back is either outstanding honeymoon period level of joy and elation and chemistry, or it's a really tough loss. And with that tough loss, I mean, what are you going to do? It's so hard. You know that the trolls are coming for you. You know the criticism's on its way. How does that affect players internally? There's no way it doesn't. Simply put, there's no way it doesn't.
It really is just, like, annoying to deal with. Just like all the talk, and you just have to sit there and read it online. Like, and again, these hot takes are flying in every direction, so it's not like it's all negative. There's plenty of positive in the mix as well. I'd say for this one, though, definitely more negative than positive, but just the fact that, like, it takes so long. You have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks to even, like, announce things, then an extra week before you get to play and, like, start to answer some of these questions. And again, on the side of Optic Texas, it's only a handful of days they've been able to even, like, get effective scrim practice as well because of how long it takes the roster to, like, make moves. So this is as early as it gets. So there really isn't a point to making any hot takes, but we've been around competitive Call of Duty for a long time. We know nothing is going to stop that. They will be present for every single map that's made.
At any moment, expect a take that is scorching hot and possibly devoid of all reason and logic. But here we go. Looking around, getting things going. Optic Texas waiting for an update here. The lobby has dropped, so we're going to, I don't know, reboot that server, make sure these players can all get back into this one. Game should be ready in a moment. Again, we don't want to be forcing players onto a server that's not, you know, too far away. We want to keep the pings at a minimum. That's the goal here. The only difficult one, of course, Elite playing from Canada is a tough one. Boston Breach playing out of their facility in Boston. Optic Texas could be playing at the MB office, could be playing out the Hex quarters. Everyone's going to be sitting cozy. Here we go. Map number 4, Embassy Hardpoint. You win it, you're done for Optic Texas. Boston Breach, we're looking to force the game 5.
And I will say, I didn't think about this beforehand, and even thinking about saying it out loud, I know it really doesn't make too much sense, but just looking at the cams, Hoop does kind of remind me of Formal a little bit in terms of, like, I don't know, the way you carry yourself, like, in a competitive mindset, like, very calm, very controlled. I know Hook has certainly, like, matured and changed quite a bit over the years, and I think it's sort of focused on the competitive mentality. And I'm probably just thinking of Formal because he spent so much time on Optic, but I don't know, there's something there. Radically different players, but hey, they're calm in the player camps, so I said it out loud.
Big chillin'. You've said it out loud. Let's party into the hard point already. Boston Breach have found themselves. Pinch is on absolutely perfect timing. No shy of, you know, that chemistry we've been gassing from the Zio crew from Shotzzy, Hook and Illy. And so far, you've cleaned up the members of Boston. You found those kills. The last one on this side of the map is dealt with. And now's the time for the time.
And I don't know how they came up with this name or this tag, but Zio or XEO apparently is Galatian for ice. didn't even know what that language was, but that's what I looked at. So yeah, cool as hell, whatever it means. But we will go with Icy for sure. But so far it's Boston with the lead, but Optic trying to lock down these spawns. And obviously when I say a lead, not sizable in the slightest. Optic are trying to piece up everywhere on the map. 4-2 for the moment. I'll only stay that way for the moment as all this pressure on Illy towards this backshot.
Has to be said, word to Chris Tunn. Embassy is just Bukaj V2, man. Like, it's small, it's got a couple of inside and outside spaces, and it's absolutely nuts on the door front. And so far, you're seeing the submachine gun players have a very good time rolling things forward slowly but surely. Hook's in the point.
Yeah, if you didn't say the door thing, I was definitely going to bring that up because, I mean, doors open, doors closed, players kicking them open like the Kool-Aid man. It is non-stop, and unfortunately for Hook, he does get stopped as you got Vivid picking up 2, and Boston, nice little stabilization. A lot of effort that they had to put on to clear out and get those back spawns, but the effort and the hard work pays off. 30 seconds left on this hill, and they should be able to get at least a decent chunk of it as the trophy's going to help them out.
Awakening. Tagged up. Gets on out. Allows Vivid to get onto the point to get the kills. Awakening, nice teamwork there as they bounce right back into it. Final 10 seconds remaining. Over to the next point we go. Top of the air conditioning units, or server as they call it. Nero's got stairs. Bad timing though. Waited a second longer. His teammates are there. This is great work out of Boston. Lovely synergy on all fronts.
Yeah, it looked like bad timing for Nero for a second, but that's because his teammates were coming in from the wing. So that is Boston clean on the rotation. And we talked about how Optic were 12th. They technically win the rotation over towards P2, but they don't hold it for very long. And they absolutely lose the rotation over towards this now server hill. Is Boston trying to run the show, but I think that's who running up the stairs. And unfortunately for him, just gets met by a grenade. And Boston holding strong.
Trophies are in position, no problem. Oh, nice work out of Zin there. This could be another one around the corner. Non-stop chaos and sadly a teammate. Nero, though, makes up for it with aplomb as he dives into the point, looking for anyone and everything. Somehow gets shots in. Oh, my God. He nearly found the third with a knife as well. Nero's cooking.
And keep in mind, the team that is 12th in rotation, not only are they getting cooked up by Nero, they're getting cooked on the rotation as well. It's Boston, all 4 players nearby set up for the play. And while Vivid does get chopped down and Optic setting up this swarm, at least this initial time will go to Boston, and especially if Nero's able to get those big 2 kills and shut down the flank. So it looks like maybe some of these problems for Optic are continuing.
Yep, and Nero's still roaming the halls now, looking for anyone. Can he keep this spree going? Eyes towards the outside. Seemingly opening doors with his mind. Ook, good shots, takes care of methods. Vivid's up next. Optic though, they're looking to find a door, but there's a lot of dithering here. It's back and forth. Which door we hit in doesn't matter. Everyone's getting smoked. All dead for Optic Texas.
I mean, yeah, Hook is the only player on Optic really contributing in any meaningful way. Everybody else just getting picked apart. And Nero on Embassy. Maybe name a better duo if you want to compare it to Bocage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a map where I think Nero might have had the kill record by the end of the year.
Jesus.
In the S&D, he was able to fry, and he's frying so hard that he's expecting these kills to happen just instantly. He's jumping to the next gunfight a little bit too soon.
He was half a bullet away from getting that one as well. Not only was he a bad man on Bocage, he was also the Tyrant of Tuscan, I think at some point we hit him up with. So 122 lead now from Boston Breach, slowly but surely dissipating as Optic Texas have plugged their controllers back in. Let's get it. Scumps on point, finding a couple. Big work out of the King, brought down by Vivid finally. Here comes Hook. Can't catch the player in the corner. Vivid too hot to handle. Shotsy though takes care of him there with those tough hands. Now the hard point is in the hands of Boston again.
That's so annoying too, because shots are getting wall banged along the way. But that was the first time Optic actually, truly won a rotation. And similar to P2, it just does not last for very long at all. No amount of production. I mean, map 1, Illy had a 2.0 KD, but he can't get anything going. And the only player that can is Hook. Maybe Scump nipping at the heels, but right now, Shotzi and Illy, I mean, just what, 8 and 24 combined? Not having a good time right now.
No, that's a sweet 16 seconds though to be nabbed on that final hard point. We're back over towards the middle of the map once again. A crazy opening set. Boston Breach with a very sizable lead. But Optic are doing what they can to get back into this one. Can Scump win this fight? He sure can. A couple more towards mid. He's going to keep going. 2 kills now in a row. Knives are up. He's swinging all over the place.
Well, I mean, hey, if Hook was the only man that was really showing up and start, Scump has now risen to the occasion. Optic waiting on two more players to actually start to provide, but they're at least getting some of this hill time on P1, and a couple key gunfights now going their way, and maybe an opportunity to try to flip these spawns. You have Awakening living at the back truck, trying to keep things locked down, and I think that's who Scump maybe has set into sights.
He does indeed. Stun check lands. He's stunned. He's risen. Oh, the Riz is out though. Awakening gets it. Takes care of him. 15 seconds remaining on the point. Looking towards Nu. Illy's in a good spot. He's got to take care of a couple of players though. The rest of the boys spawning out all over the place. They're nowhere to be found. This is a good look from Boston. Unless Shotzi can do something stinking.
It's a rotational fight again, and maybe Shotzi wins an intro, but the trades are just going to be instant, and Boston solo players in the back. So rotations on this map have been the thorn in Optic's side, and even with a decent P1 and a couple hills chained together for a little bit of life, you're back to square one and have to break through the front of a very difficult hill to make it. And with a perfectly timed flank from Nero, all signs of life have been quelled.
He is disgusting, man. And this is the thing with Boston Breach, whether it be Awakening, whether it be Methods or Vivid, one of them is going to go absolutely wild at any given time. And now it's Nero's time to shine. He keeps it going. The scoreline is looking great. The kills are looking great. Let's see how the comms sound with a listen in.
I'm in red. I can shoot. Stun gas. Throw tax. Yeah, I'm shaking. Taking up. And back alley. I need them. Yo, one is over. He's in trailer. Trailer in 3-2. Climb the ladder. Water. David, drop me. My phone close. Very north. They're spawning like S1. He's on. Mid lane. P1. Shotzi. Yeah, Shotzi. I'm on the alley. He's top flat. One's on time. He's going across the bridge. Top of the bridge. They're assigned. Our bridge is on peeking me? Yeah. One's on fine still. Yeah. Try to go up mid. Yeah. Shotzi sign. Wait on S1. Shotzi. Yeah. Switching S1. Close X1. That's one of me. Shotzi. Deep right on me. Watching it. Orange just one in hill. So deep right. Back PDF. I understand. Yeah. He's in S1. Go top Shotzi. Red. Go top S1. Red. Orange. Then. Red hill. Okay. Yep. And he's top S1 hill and red. I'm gonna kill this guy. You guys play. Yep. Two S1, guys. I don't want you out. In S1, in it. Take me. Side S1 in S1 Take me on the palm. Just hold on me, one shot, and I'll do a trophy. Yeah. He was old. Yeah, he was old. Ants here. Ants S1. S1, he's above me. You're one. Nice. Missing time. Play tight. I stunned him S1. Yeah. Close the doors. They can go to the back. I'll play it down. Yeah. I closed the bathroom.
That's a good look still out of Boston Breach. Comms sound great. They're in control of the map so far. Can they push it here on the next point?
Yeah, control the hill as well. Hook's the only man that's even remotely close to being nearby as Shotzi just gets dropped. 1 HP for the gunfight, and I mean, Optic, it's sort of one by one. It's tough to orchestrate a push, and the kills and the feed always split. This is the moment, though, for Big Wake to get dropped, and Optic able to
This is the moment for Big Wake to get dropped.
Stabilize. So you're down by
you got dropped.
60, a long way to go, but Optic trying to hold on.
Trying not to go to wasted it all. It was in the end for a second there, but now in the end of this hard point, 20 seconds remaining on it. Optic is still holding it down. Shotzi's there. Here comes Awakening and Methods. The 2 ARs. Oh, nice nades out. Hook. It's a great hold. Optic Texas still clinging alive here on Embassy.
And final 10 seconds, maybe Hook doubles back to try to collect it, or maybe you just focus on Nu. That rotation, and Boston going to be there early, and Methods, even with the vast snap, going to win some of these intros. Nero finally gets shut down, because Nero has been a problem. The next problem for Optic is the fact that Boston is inside. Every second is a massive deal, and Breach, they got the clearance. Nero popping up with a 2 in the feed again, because Nero has been feasting one of his best maps this year.
Great map so far. Whoa, big wins out. Hook, he's in. One more to deal with, and it's the man himself. It's Nero. Trophies aren't there. Hook, smooth feet work. He's staying alive. Nades are there. Hook's still going, and the point, and Optic is somehow still alive.
And they got the crosses too. Illy's looking through the middle of the map, but he's going to get shot in the back. So a couple things are going to be left open, but Scump there to close the door for one side and keeping him slowed down on the second. Final 20 seconds in Boston. I don't even know if you necessarily need to push. Admittedly, we're just rotating not too far, but nice little string of events there for Optic. A bunch of kills go their way, but it's a middle hill. We already know it's not going to end here unless Boston can do something crazy. Rotations to P2 are going to matter. Control of the power positions are going to be huge.
Awakening is one of the men in those power positions for now. Good work out of Billy. Cleans him up. Here we go. Optic Texas into the point. Scumps, nades, and stuns. They're going to land. They're going to slow these players down. You can know where this attack is coming from. Can you deal with it, though?
Wow, they
Number 7,
really
running around
got
trying to
caught
catch these
up.
players out. Shotzi in the hill, finding the kills. This game is not over yet. We could see a lead change here.
I mean, they got that dog in them just to make the comeback and push it this far, but Nero again wins every key one-on-one gunfight, but at the same time, Optic have been in this hill the entire time, and Scump gets another 3. Boston gonna be spawning out, but again, neither team's doing it here. It will end on P2, and that is a 4-man wipe. Scumps gets dropped, and Optic players spawning on a couple different corners of this map, but it is going to be a scrappy fight for P2.
Oh, it's a crazy fight for P2. You got players in position now. Hook's trying to be the cut-off man, trying to get rid of Awakening. Round the corner he goes, flying into it. Damage dealt, but not enough to get the kill. 3 dead, all down. Optic are in trouble. This is a big look for Breach.
One more try for Optic right now to get through, and Boston Breach have the perfect spread around the map. Couple players working their way around back, and Awakening gonna be the man that needs to stay alive. In the hill is Vivid, doing the little dance, and Optic get a couple, and Optic get the break.
They flip it right back on its head. Now Optic Texas in control. Nero, the hero for his team here on Embassy, trying to make his way forward. Into the Embassy he now goes under the cover of smoke and silence. Can he get into the point? Deal some
Let's
damage.
go, boys. Let's go, boys.
What an unbelievable hard point method. On the flank, it's 2 of them. Awakening finds 1. Hook, last man left alive. Pressure is on. He can get the job done here if he can stay alive. No, the hard point once again. Once again, Boston Breach in control.
Final seconds ticking through. The last ditch effort from Illy can only take down.
No.
It might just be it. You see the contest, but it's not good enough. Boston Breach literally by the hair on their chins, able to get that dub as the battle on P2, like the tide in and out, back and forth, in a nail-biter finish. And a photo finish at that, because again, that's just how the ticks work in this game. You see the contest in the final second, but either way, Boston, I suppose, just had a big enough lead to get it done, but I mean, ridiculous stuff through and through. Nero, 36 to his name. I mean, everybody in the lobby pretty much contributing. It was really just a slow start, especially out of Shotzi and Illy, who, again, did turn things around, but I don't know. That's just a wild performance there on Embassy. I don't even know if you need to talk about the rotations. It really just came down to that final hill.
Crazy final hill, and say cheese, ladies and gentlemen, the photo finish is done. We've got a game 5 to Mercado Las Armas for our final map of this exciting series. Boston Breach taking on Optic Texas, and it's a brand new roster, but it's spicy as hell so far, Chance.
Yeah, not quite the correct graphic. Boston did, in fact, win that map. So, yeah, going to a map 5 as well for Mercado S&D. Literally no data on Boston Breach. Again, I know that Search and Destroy has been sort of the theme of we don't know how expansive their map pool is, but during the first major, the first split, and the major itself, Bagger Fortress was the only Search and Destroy map Boston had any sort of success. Well, here so far going into Major 2, they've got wins on El Asilo, they've got a win on Embassy, and maybe they're looking to add Mercado to the list as well.
Got to try to add Mercado to the list. Crazy stuff. We got some stats to get into when we come back after this quick commercial break, but don't go too far, ladies and gents. We have a banger on our hands here. Optic Texas taking on Boston Breach, game 5 when we come back.
Need more Call of Duty League? Sign up for the official CDL newsletter. Get updates, special offers, and premium content delivered directly to your inbox all season long. Scan the QR code to sign up now. You'll also be entered to win a pair of 4-day general admission passes to Major 2 in Boston.
Here we go, ladies and gents. Game 5. Mercado
Ooh, excuse me.
for one more search and destroy here in this series. Boston Breach versus Optic Texas. And we've nearly got a full house with the cams are on Nero. What an unbelievable string of plays he made on that Embassy hardpoint.
I mean, look, he got fried map 1, right? Because that was pretty much nothing but Optic in the feed, and the fact that his hardpoint KD is close to even. So yes, Embassy, absolutely godlike. That's where he dropped the 2.75 in S&D, and obviously a player to watch. Themes for this map for Boston, we really don't know, but you got to imagine with players like this, there is potential. The nade coordination on point, because you're not going to have a trophy at the start of these rounds, and a cheeky little first blood, and a lot of map control is Optic. They are making it easy for Boston.
Vivid finds number 2, and he sees the bomb down. What's up, boys? I got the BOMB. We're chilling now. Shotzzy, last man left alive. He's up on the little balcony there, having a, if he were a smoker, having a little cig break, because he's chilling. Waiting for a moment with that dead silence to get things going.
Yeah, I mean, again, just sort of an easy round, and I mean, Shotzzy's waiting for a moment. This is just all 4 players on Boston that'll be getting closer to trophies and dead silence and whatnot, and just sprints into death. Not a big fan of the play call of hitting an alley in round 1, just because no trophies, you're going to get naded, and I know occasionally you can get away with it, but Boston not letting anything funny happen there, so you get the free first blood with a nade, you get a free first blood down low. Is I think Boston pretty much able to run through that back alley without any nades landing on their head. So they'll take the freebie. Always love to get the easy one ins for round 1.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Second round on its way. Optic Texas now on defense. Let's see how this one goes.
See if they can get those return nades in and at least connecting on EOD for the moment, but not good enough, and not good enough either for Vivid. He's able to get the first and second and third, make it blood. Vivid for 2, and Illy by himself. Optic have not particularly enjoyed Mercado S&D 1 and 3 overall, and those are 2 painful rounds to start on. I mean, I know at least 1 or 2 of those nades probably hit, but they just got the EOD hit marker, so the coordination not quite as good as Boston's, and we're only 2 rounds in. Vivid is 5-0. 2 comfortable rounds right now for Breach.
You can't be too surprised. Again, Breach far more well-rehearsed on Search and Destroy, particularly right now. The 6-1 in the opening Search and Destroy, anything to go by. I mean, this, you have to be favoring Boston Breach at this moment in time. This is now a sort of a heat check on Optic. How well can they just pull something out of the bag? What kind of chemistry can they muster up right now? But with Vivid at 5-0, they've not got the bomb. They've got no hope in hell of hitting these next set of nades, and Vivid's already slowing them down. Yeah, this is a bad round.
It also looked like Optic just had to have like an internal debate on who was picking up bomb, because off spawn you had arrows all sort of like looking in the same direction, looking at each other. It is very strange, and if you're going to be slow off the opening break, you got to play for picks, and it'll be a long time before Optic makes a move. Now, Illy is proficient with the sniper on this map, and he had the hot hand on Embassy. I think they might be waiting for him to sort of make the play, but Boston are giving them nothing to work with.
And Boston is not moving whatsoever. Not a lot of noise being made. You've been spotted though. Nero goes down. Hoop with the first blood. Illy with the snipes. It's an absolute war on the inside. Shotzzy gets one as well. So a nice bit of work to stay alive in this situation. Zin, oh my god, he nearly takes those players out. A nice composed round amidst a flurry, an absolute maelstrom in the middle of the point there. Optic get on the board.
That quite literally worked out for him better that they just didn't move off the opening break to avoid dodging the nades. And very strange when a round like that happens, because it's not like Boston knows, but they could have actually pushed up and gotten a lot more control of the cantina, but instead it was more or less a standard setup. And I mean, I think that round goes radically different if Hook does not win that, opening engagement on Vivid. But as soon as you take the player down on the windowsills, you get a lot more control, a lot more presence. So Hook putting on for Optic.
6-1 out of Vivid though, looking to find kill number 7. That's not going to land though. Good trophy work out of Optic Texas, keeping these players safe and sound.
If you're Optic, you're just comfortable on this map as well, because you had Elite looking over the middle of the map. There is no presence, and maybe that'd be an opportunity for Methods to make a play towards mid, but Vivid and Awakening for the moment, I think they're just waiting and praying that someone for Texas overcommits and makes a mistake, or maybe you'll just rip ahead, absolutely guns them. But obviously, you see Illy does connect with the snipes. Yeah, still 2v3.
Did not expect that. Yeah, Illy's 100% to reach out on this. 100%. Demon Joe spotted out. Yeah, you better back up, son. Illy's been hitting them today. As in, he's going to slow pick this. Hello. Oh, baby, what a snap it was. 1v3.
Yeah, I mean, again, the shining light in map number 2 was Illy without question. So, hot hand with a sniper indeed.
Let's go, boys.
3, and he's going to get taken down. So, bounce back, couple rounds right there. The pair for Optic Texas. And again, I think Hook is probably the most impactful player. I know Illy is able to hit 2 snipes, and that's obviously the payoff, but just the fact that Hook is getting those first bloods on a map, once you get the man advantage, you can afford to post up, to not move, and play a lot more comfortably than your opponent. So Hook, again, letting his presence be known.
Luke Skywalker feels not only his own presence, he feels your presence. Nero 0-3. A little slow from him. On Mercado. All tied up 2-2. Anything can still happen here. A lot of action towards that A-bomb site, as is tradition. Method's going to be the lone man looking over at B, making sure no shenanigans go down there, and so far, so good.
This is tough to cross. You don't want to jump across that window at all.
Might just be worth crawling it. Here comes Shotzi. He has an opening. The guns are up, though, Vivid, with the first blood on Hook.
Yeah, Vivid's been beaming. I think that's 8 kills now for Vivid in total. Only in round number 5. Good reads, though, on Shotzi to even up the odds. Vivid, though, hungry for the trade, and it's going to get handed to him. So you maintain that man advantage. And Scump on a donut right now. Forced to fly through, or maybe just bait for Illy. The bailout with the sniper, always on point.
He's been great. 2v2 now. Scump and Illy versus Methods and Awakening. A rat-a-tat-tat of gunfire there. Scump takes care of his power. Methods. It's all down to Awakening now to take the lead here in the search.
And Illy with the snipe hasn't planted the bomb just yet. They have a rough idea where Awakening is, but it's not going to be perfect. Dead silence just now came up, and he's going to use it. But I think Scump heard the sound. I think he might have heard it.
He might have heard it. Can he snap on it? He does. Yeah. Scump gets the snap, and they win the round. Optic take the lead.
It's a weird sentence to say Scump heard dead silence, but I'm not kidding when I said it. In a game with no red dots on the mini-map, dead silence making noise is almost just expected. So that little ring out, I think, was enough for the intel game. But again, the bailout in Illy with the snipe has been incredibly consistent so far in this series. And as long as you're keeping the odds a little bit close, and Hook and Shotzi have been providing, rather, Optic Texas getting some work done.
Yeah, teamwork is the name of the game here, really. I mean, it's great coverage from everyone there in Optic Texas, especially around like that. It's a 4 spree for Illy. Get himself streaks here on Mercado. Muy bien. Speaking of streaks, here comes the cruise from Vivid. This is going to cause a lot of ruckus. Will it catch Illy out towards the back? Are they going to hit the mid? He does. Takes care of Shotzi. And advantage Boston Breach.
Good read. Now I think this is sort of back to square one. You need to get the pick, and Hook's able to get it, and he's able to get out. So just like that, you even up the odds. That's a cruise missile burned, and maybe you're at least able to get some map control off of this. The bomb will be planted, and it's planted for everywhere.
I'm not sure if they saw as many people cross. I don't think Vivid saw anyone crossing. We go to the point, though. Nero. Oh, my God. It's a big gunfight. All of it comes down to Methods now. 1v2, and he's in a nice little off angle. You just chill there, Zen. You just chill. You get that bomb. Now you pop Daddy. Surely, though, to reach out. They're not going to let this happen.
Let's
no,
go.
Hook and Illy all over him. Optic Texas will find themselves 4-2.
That was just such a fast play call as well. I mean, the setup they had in the tunnel just to get that extra pick to even up the odds at a 3v3, and even after Boston got the bomb down, 0 time wasted. Everybody on Optic just snapping in a position, ready to go for the trades. And I mean, maybe one of the benefits of a pickup, I know they're a little bit short on days of practice, but these are players that have still spent a lot of time playing together. And in moments like that, that is where the chemistry really shines. So Optic now, that is 4 in a row. That is a cruise missile dealt with. A lot of things have been going right.
And this is wild. Nobody saw this coming. It's 5 for Illy. One more and he gets that missile. It's going to be doing what you can, but Vivid, another first blood from him. Absolutely sensational work in Search and Destroy all series long.
Yeah, Vivid has been unreal, and now he's going to be down low, bottom cantina, and he's played this spot before and killed Scump in it. But a lot of pressure actually on the B side of the map as well. Shotzi's trying to make a play, and I think it's Methods that he's dealing with. But I see Methods backing down, but not quick enough. He gets caught. It might be panic for Boston. Yeah, players are going to panic. They're going to try to make moves, cross through the middle of the map, and they just fall into the trap. One little play in the round collapses. Awakening in a 1 versus 3.
Oh, they know he's trapped in here as well. Here they come. What a round.
Let's go.
Match point. Optic Texas.
Dude, one little play, and the only thing Boston hit was the panic button. I mean, Method starts running away, but he's too slow to do it. They just felt the pressure of Shotzi. And then they were so worried about the bomb commitment, everybody just like panics and freaks out and moves and just falls into death. Scump up top waiting. Here's Vivid coming a mile away. You try to go back through mid. Illy's got it on lock, and I mean, that is a painful one for Boston because they effectively just threw that one away.
Oh dear, you've got no more throws left. Boston breach. Illy with the off angle. He won't catch anyone out just yet. A lot of love over towards the B-bomb site here from Optic Texas on defense, but that leaves a wide open. It is going to be a straight up 4v4 retake situation once that bomb goes down.
Oh my god, these guys are their fucking positions.
Boston haven't bit yet. They haven't landed this bomb. Finally going to get it down, and look at what's coming through.
That's good timing. Will he hit the afterburners on this? He may just. Here it comes. Vivid. Run!
Most important player to kill.
Absolutely smoked. Methods is in trouble now. He's stunned up, having to back up as fast as possible. Shotzi can smell blood in the water. Sadly, it was a trap, and Awakening managed to find it out. 3v3. Methods gets one on a Scump with the backline. Hook, though, keeping the battle on the alley going. Gets himself another. Brought down. All down now to Illy. Can he take this round by the scruff of the neck? Pistol out. Big weight guns him. It's Boston Breach. Stay alive.
Oh, that shoot. Talk about a big round to win. As soon as Vivid fell to the cruise, I was like, that might be it. Nero doesn't have a kill, and Vivid has been the menace for the side of Boston Breach, but everybody clutches up. They deliver, and not the best coordination there out of Optic. A couple players getting a little bit thirsty for those kills, jumping out the back alley, and a nail-biter one for sure. But Boston now, when we talk about the good things for Optic, they burned the cruise for Vivid. Well, Boston had burnt the cruise from Illy. Still a long way to go. They need another 3 in the round. 3 in a row, rather.
We'd like to see at least 3 in a row kills for Nero right now. It's gone a bit quiet. Vivid, though, has been the man of the moment. Cantina. Starts popping.
How does that nade not hit? Okay, sure.
And whatever, dude. I'll take it. Hook's in. He's dead. Vivid, once again, another first blood. 13 and 6 overall. What a stunning performance.
He actually took the time to scratch his nose in the middle of the round, so...
That's nuts.
When you got to itch, you got to itch. Yeah, and by the way, similar setup for Optic as well, of where you're like worried about this B presence. And it's 2 players nearby, and look at what this is going to do to Boston. That's a couple players backing up, or maybe just 2, ready for this pressure. So it's a man down for Optic, but an extra man at least around the site.
You're going to play this a little slow right now for Boston. Look at that line they've set across the map. Wait for anything to come through. Shots, he does get it. Zinni, oh, not able to get the vengeance there. The bomb could get planted here. Steady pop. Zin's going to try to make something happen. Clock's ticking. Here we go.
They're playing for kills, though. Optic are playing for kills for the moment. They're making noise, maybe to just bait these players in, or maybe doing weird stuff. I don't know what the game plan is, but a 2v2 with 12 seconds. Optic are trying to pounce on it. Scump going to be able to get this bomb down. Boston not quite quick enough. 2v2.
Oh, my God. The plant comes through. Picky gunfight, slight exchange of fire. Scump though doesn't have. It doesn't matter. Wins the fight.
Let's go.
Awakening now, 1v2. He's got time.
Oh, he hurt him.
He doesn't have Daddy. He's already used it on the round. They're gonna back on up. Oh, and this is it. We find out what you're made of in a difficult spot like this. Shotzi.
Let's go.
Too much to handle. The team
Brought it home.
In effect.
Big dub,
And
big dub.
Texas have stunned us there on Mercado Search and Destroy, a Game 5 victory.
Look at these
I
fuckers.
do not believe what we've seen.
and just ridiculous search and destroy gameplay coming through in this series on both of the maps that we had. I mean, cruise missiles for Vivid, cruise missiles for Illy, all the picks you want. Shotzzy doing his thing, making plays like on an island over on the B site and just breaking Boston down. And even towards the end, I mean, it was chaos. It was panic. It was concern for Optic, but even with 12 seconds, able to get the bomb down. And I mean, Scump out there making plays. Not just the fact that Scump was able to get the bomb down and that he had 7 kills, 5 assists as well. So 12 in the old EKIA department. Scump constantly getting involved. And a hell of a game right there from Optic to turn things around, because those first 2 rounds were rough.
Well, it was damn rough. And we really thought it was going to be another 6-2, but oh, how the tables have turned. 6-3, the final score there on Mikado, and a fantastic search and destroy out of Optic Texas. What? Series? What?
Fantastic for sure.
What did you think I said? Oh, I'm not going to ask.
Nothing. I heard fantastic. You said
Easy,
fantastic.
Tiger. A fantastic search and destroy of Optic there. Hey, man, didn't see that coming whatsoever. The reverse is done. It's well, not reverse sweep, but the series is done. I need a break. Desk, take it away.
Thank you so much, Miles and Chance. Optic Texas hits the 6-3 split. And that's my last bowling meme, and it should be your last one, too. Can I get real with you guys real quick? Because I just want to point something out. Optic Texas had so much pressure coming into this. And most of that pressure wasn't necessarily on the players. The man who's been taking it all from the community is Rambo Ray. Off of a small clip that came out on Twitter, Rambo has been slandered by the community. He's been memed up by the staff here on CDL, but the man deserves your respect. And let me give you the man's resume. Rambo Ray, one of the original Call of Duty pros. He's been in the game as long as I can remember. 7 titles as a player, 15 finals as a player, back-to-back grand finals appearances in Black Ops 2 and Call of Duty Ghost. He worked at a Call of Duty studio for multiple years, shutting down his Twitter to make the game better for the players. After he returns to competing, he leads the team to the 2020 World Championship on the Dallas Empire. And now, when he goes and he brings 3 of the 4 players back from that championship team, we all give him shit? No, Rambo Ray knows what he's doing. He's one of the smartest guys in the game. He's been one of the smartest guys in the game since the beginning, and you should put some respect on his name.
Hey, that was fire. We love that.
That was fire.
That's true, though. Like,
I love you, brother.
Listen, Ray is an absolute beast. I had the pleasure of teaming with Ray before, and he's been getting memed like crazy. And, you know, sometimes when these memes, I've been a part of it before, they can just go rampant, man. They can just control the narrative of a person. And the team looks great, honestly.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they had some great moments throughout that series. And we'll be looking at Optic for the weeks to come to see their improvement.
It's gonna get spicy from here on out, and boy, this series was incredible. Ali, you had all the numbers. Boston had a lot of things in their favor, but there was some grit throughout this series.
Absolutely.
Hook able to show up, getting those 3 pieces to kick off maps, giving that team momentum. But what I was most impressed with was watching Scump today.
Oh, yeah.
You saw it in that game 5, and he also earned our Scump play of the game. Can you walk me through what the old man was doing when it came to that control?
I mean, he was just having his way. And at that point, I don't even know what role he was playing, because he had the Vaz, he had the Scar, he had a knife in his hand sometimes, and it didn't matter because he was being detrimental on the map. It's really sad to think about losing a player like this that is still so freaking good.
I mean, I was watching Scump throughout that map. Like, at times, he was just doing whatever he wanted. Like, the guy got pushed up carpet, pops 3 kills. They can't find him. He runs back inside, gets another 3-piece with the SMG in his hands. Like, you're telling me this demon SMG is going to have an AR now and be able to just do whatever he wants? I think it's beautiful. And to touch on that control just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think we saw what Optic was hoping for. I think a lot of people were wondering, like, why are we making this change? What's the team dynamic going to be like? Well, we saw it in that last round. Like, Hook and Shotzzy, the pace that they play at, they think the exact same. We saw when they were rotating over towards Plat, Shotzi's just being a nuisance, getting 1-2 kills. Hook off the spawn. He's going to hit mid, get that kill as well. Like, they're working together very well. We saw it in control.
The tempo changed, and I want to talk to the man who has been with this team since the beginning, representing Optic. He's with us now, the red mustache in full force, especially in that game 5. Scump, you had so many clutch kills, but before we talk about the individual games, what was it like entering today's matchup? How much pressure were you feeling as a player?
There was a good amount of pressure on me today, just because people are holding me to a high standard with the AR, and I've only had 4 days to practice with it. So I was a little bit nervous coming into today, I'm not gonna lie. But we ended up getting the win, and I ended up making some good plays for the squad. So it was a good win. It was a good team win today.
It was a really good win. I mean, you say you're worried about the AR. It looks like you feel right at home with it. To be honest, I just want to know now what's Optic's focus heading into the rest of this qualifiers, because we were all nervous to see what the start was going to be like, if the honeymoon was going to be there or not. But honestly, I think I see the vision now. So what's y'all's biggest focus heading forward?
We need to clean up respawn a lot. Our search on Embassy was also very, very sloppy. But again, it just comes down to not really having very many reps with Kyler. So it's kind of to be expected, but kind of not to be. So just need to work on search, need to clean up our respawn a little bit, and I think we'll be good. Need to clean up hardpoint specifically.
Seth, talk to me about like the change you guys made, because I know a lot of people will look at your last roster and be like, do they have the perfect players for every single role? You bring in Hook, switching some things up. What are you guys hoping to improve on from the last roster that you had? Like, what's the focus, the identity change that you guys are looking for?
Just really pacing, I think. So me, I'm kind of more of a slower sub, and that's kind of known. Kyler and Ann are both just crackheads, and they run around. So, I mean, I have some pretty large shoes to fill, filling in Brandon's shoes as a flex. But yeah, we're just trying to work on our fundamentals and all the things like that, work on our pacing, and it'll come because, again, I went from having a trophy at the start of the week to having dead silence for 3 days, and then I had a trophy again today. So we're still kind of trying to figure, so I've been all over the place. So we're trying to figure things out still.
I know you're missing Deddy, but I wanted to ask you, so like, do you have the freedom to kind of just like pull out whatever gun you want at any moment? Because I saw you whipping out the SMG on some hills. Like, how's that feel?
Yeah, is it fair to call you just an AR player, Scump?
No, he's pulling out whatever he wants.
Well, I was kind of already a flex, I mean, you could say, but now I use the AR way more, and now I actually have to play like an AR, so I have to like anchor spawns, rotate a little bit earlier, like, so the flex, I was already a flex, but I could do whatever I want. Now I kind of have to like reel it in sometimes and make sure we have spawns and things like that. So
all the boring stuff.
It's not, yeah, all the boring stuff, which I'm not used to. I'm used to just being able to run around and have fun, but now I'm doing the boring stuff, I guess. But it gets wins, so whatever we got to do.
Final question for you, Scump, before we let you go celebrate with the team. What's it like playing with Hook?
Oh, Kyler's an absolute beast. I got Zio. The guy sets an unbelievable pace, like I said, alongside Shotzi. I mean, they're just lightning fast, and it makes my job pretty easy just because they're baiting a lot, and they're running out, and they're doing damage, and they're getting kills and pushing out cuts, so it's great. I mean, again, we haven't really had too much time together, but I'm looking forward to what we can do.
Well, we only got one match from Optic Texas this week. I know next week we're getting a chance to see you twice. Any teams you're looking forward to playing in particular?
No, I mean, gotta beat everybody.
Push them all, baby. All right, congratulations. 125,000 watched you clutch up on that Game 5, and they'll be cheering you on the rest of the season, I'm sure. That's
Well,
Scuppy,
that was a good
everybody.
game.
Go
I'm
hang out with
gonna
the
end
king.
this
He's on YouTube, Twitter,
because